On this Tuesday morning, it is what is trending all over the place, the death of Robin Williams at the very young age of 63. And I think so many people have said it best, there are no words. I mean, such devastation to lose such an amazing person and actor. Somebody called him a genius. They said you can't teach what he did. And I think that's very true. I think you go from one extreme to the other, like Dead Poet Society, you and I were just talking about, to Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
just
so
lots of different roles.
Multi-dimensional. And of course, his family, after the news broke, his family, his wife, released a statement. And I liked at the end, she said, "As he is remembered, it is our hope that the focus will not be on Robin's death, but on the countless moments of joy and laughter he gave to millions." Because, I mean, he did. He broke it in the mainstream. I was reading a tweet from Mindy Kaling. She was named after Mork from Planet Ork and Mork and Mindy, which is kind of where they say, you know, he really got his start. And then, of course, he went to move on for 3 decades, really. He was in so many TV and movie roles, everything from Hook. I mean, as last night, as the news broke, and I was kind of thinking initially off the bat, what I think of him in is Jumanji and Mrs. Doubtfire and movies that I grew up with. It's like people were sharing things on Facebook, and he was just in so many things. I'm like, oh, yeah, he was in that. He was in that. Patch Adams. I mean, there's just so many different ways that he touched the lives of all of his fans.
I got an email from a viewer, Gary, who said, what about the movie Popeye? You know, and I think, oh my goodness, I think the list, as you just said, goes on and on and on. And then we remember him and we look back at all the things he did and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that and that and that,
Exactly. And of course, a lot of people have turned to social media to express their grief, friends and fans, thousands, millions of people. On Twitter, here's Steve Martin, which he says, "I could not be more stunned by the loss of Robin Williams." He calls him immense, great talent, acting partner, and genuine soul. And I think that that's what the goal in life is, to be a genuine soul, which he had. And Jimmy Kimmel said it perfectly. If you're sad, please tell someone, you know? And this, to me, I don't think I've ever teared up from a tweet. But the Academy of Arts, Motion Arts Sciences, they tweeted this photo of Genie and Aladdin and said, "Genie, you're free." And I think when you really...
Because he played the genie in the movie.
Who felt he was stuck in the lamp.
You're right.
And so finally when he was set free, it's really, really moving when you think about it.
Yeah, it makes you think about life, doesn't it? Just that moment, really puts it into perspective. But I think, like you said, Jimmy Kimmel said it best, you know, if you're sad, tell someone, but he did. You know, he spoke very openly about the disease that he fought, you know. And listening to Michelle Bauer this morning, that has a group here locally, and we have all the information on our website, fox19.com. She said, you know, so many people are afraid to tell somebody else that they're sad. And that's the key, is sharing it with someone, let somebody else help, you know.
And I think it's so telling here, it doesn't matter who you are, depression touches everyone. You know?
I agree.
So this was actually really, really moving, I thought. So it wasn't just tweets. There was memorials, really, that have been popping up across the country. And one specifically is a 29-year-old Boston resident, Nick Rabchinuk. He brought flowers to the famous bench. I don't know if you remember, in Good Will Hunting, one of my favorite movies. He played psychologist Sean McGuire. And in one of these scenes, great scene, he's sitting with Matt Damon in this park bench. Take a listen.
You got a thing for swans?
Unless you want to talk about you, who you are, then I'm fascinated. I'm in. But you don't want to do that, do you, sport? You're terrified of what you might say. Your move, Chief.
This is really one of the pivotal moments in the movie. So, as you can see, the picture's been popping up. Nick, the man who he said he traced where his feet were and wrote quotes and people left flowers. He actually won an Academy Award for this role as Best Supporting Actor. I know Roger Ebert was, you know, praised him for that, and of course the Academy agreed. And that's just one. And of course, when I think of Robin Williams, it's Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, it came out in 1993, so from the time I was a little kid watching movies, that's it. And so, of course, the house in San Francisco, a lot of people have been flocking there, and memorials have been left on the porch steps, and just anywhere he was, people are offering their
it's a very sad day. I think, obviously, most were. I was out last evening when I first heard about it, was in a restaurant, and so many people just grief-stricken by the news and just really distraught because they just couldn't believe. So, yeah. Tell somebody you're sad if you're sad, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you looking for some educational toys? Thanks, Kelly, very much. For your kiddos, we're taking a look at